All right, let's get right into it. We're about to break down a massive shift that's happening online. It's called the Trust Engineering Protocol, and it's a completely new way to think about your website. This is all about structuring your site so that AI doesn't just understand what you're saying, it actually trusts you enough to use your content as the source for its answers.
But before we get into the how, let's start with a question that honestly should probably keep you up at night. What if you woke up tomorrow and your website, your content, all that hard work was just invisible? And this isn't some far-off sci-fi thing. It's the new reality we're facing, a web where just being on a list of links doesn't cut it anymore.
For the last 2 decades, the game has been pretty simple, right? Get your link to the top of the list. Well, guess what? That game is over. We are moving from a web that gives you a list of links to a web that gives you a single direct answer. The goal is no longer to be on the list. The goal is to be the answer.
So the big question is, how do you become that one trusted source? Well, you've got to rebuild your website's foundation. This isn't about stuffing keywords anymore. It's about building a structured knowledge graph. You can think of this as the architect's blueprint for teaching an AI exactly what your site is about and why it should be trusted.
Okay, so let's start with the absolute basics, the Lego brick of this whole structure, the entity. We have to stop thinking in vague keywords. An entity is a single, distinct thing. It's not the phrase, how to make coffee, it's the entity, espresso machine. It's something real, something specific that an AI can lock onto without any confusion.
Now, this is where the magic really happens. When you start connecting these individual entities, you build what's called a knowledge graph. And what this does is transform your website from just a random collection of pages into this organized, interconnected network of ideas. It's a map that an AI can actually read and follow. And building this graph, that's the whole point of this entire exercise.
Okay, so where do we even begin? Well, the work starts at home. Before you can prove anything to the outside world, you have to get your own house in order. This whole first phase is about structuring the content you already have. First things first, you've got to create what's called an entity inventory. It sounds technical, but it's simple. You're basically going to use a tool to pull every single URL on your site into one big spreadsheet. This becomes your master map, the single source of truth for everything you've ever published.
And as you're making that map, you have one single, non-negotiable goal: 0. That is the number of orphan pages you are allowed to have. An orphan page is a page that has 0 internal links pointing to it. Think about it from an AI's perspective. If a page has no roads leading to it, it might as well not exist. It's completely invisible.
And fixing this is actually pretty simple. We call it the Orphan Rescue Mission. All you do is filter that spreadsheet to find any page with 0 links pointing to it. Then, you find a logical, relevant page to link from, and you don't stop until that number hits 0. It's basic digital housekeeping, but man, is it powerful.
So once all the orphans are rescued, you need to create a really clear hierarchy. And the best way to do that is with the hub and spoke model. Your main topic pages, the hubs, link out to more specific, detailed articles, the spokes. But here's the key, the part everyone forgets. Every single spoke has to link back to the hub. It creates this perfect closed loop that AI can easily follow.
Okay, this next part, this might be the single most powerful tool in this entire playbook. It's a dead simple formula for rewriting the very first sentence of your most important pages. It's called the ISA formula, and it forces you to be absolutely, brutally clear.
Yeah, we call this the golden sentence, and honestly, it's because it's worth its weight in gold. It's your secret weapon. It completely strips away all the fluffy marketing jargon and tells an AI right up front precisely what this thing is.
And just look at this example. It makes it so clear. See the before? It's nice. It's storytelling. It's marketing copy. Now look at the after. That's a cold, hard fact. It's a definition. There's 0 ambiguity. It's something a machine can just lift and use. This is how you learn to speak their language.
All right, last step for getting your own content in order, creating what we call entity nests. Instead of burying key features and specs in a dense paragraph, you pull them out into a structured table or a bulleted list. By doing this, you're creating these neat little pairs, an attribute like brew time and a value, 2 minutes. Super easy for a machine to grab.
Okay, so you've done it. Your house is in order. Your website is a perfectly organized library. But here's the next big question. Does anyone actually believe you? In this next part, we're going to talk about how you prove to the world and to AI that your information is the real deal. And that credibility, it starts with your authors. You have to turn a writer's name into a verifiable entity. That means a real author page with a real photo, a bio that lists actual credentials, and links to their professional profiles. Then you use a little piece of code called Same As Schema that basically screams to the AI, hey, the person who wrote this is the exact same person as this expert over on LinkedIn.
And this is so important to get. Your author page isn't just a fluffy bio anymore. It is a technical asset. It's a verifiable node in your knowledge graph, connecting your content to a real living human whose expertise can be checked and cross-referenced all over the web.
All right, next up is what I like to call the neighborhood strategy. Because, it's true online just like it is in real life. You are judged by the company you keep. You need to link out to what we call seed sites. These are universally trusted domains like government sites, universities, or major scientific databases. Linking to them shows you're part of this serious, fact-based conversation.
And for the really critical stuff, I'm talking health, finance, anything that really impacts people's lives, you gotta go one step further. Adopt the ultimate signal of academic rigor. Add a references section at the bottom of your articles, just like a scientific paper. It's a massive visual cue that says, we've done our homework.
Okay, let's pull all these threads together. We've organized our content, we've signaled our authority. So what's the big payoff? Well, it turns out the whole game, the very definition of what it means to win online, is being rewritten as we speak.
For years, all we cared about was ranking #1, right? That was the old goal. The new goal, the one that's going to matter for the next decade, is to be the cited source in an AI's direct answer. Being the source is so much more powerful than being just another link on a page that, let's be honest, people are starting to skip entirely.
So what does done look like? What's the finish line? This is your checklist. 0 orphan mages. A clean hub and spoke architecture. Your most important pages kick off with that golden ISA sentence. You have real, verifiable authors, and you cite credible, authoritative sources. When you can say yes to all of these, you're not just playing the new game, you're ready to win it.
So I want to leave you with one final question to really think about. Take a hard look at your own site. After all this, is it just a digital attic full of dusty old articles? Or is it a living, breathing authority, structured and ready for the age of AI? The choice, really, is yours.